Hello there again. This video is put together to walk you through some of the key tips and key skills that we're going to learn in Word Section 2, which focuses on research papers, inserting citation, source management, and formatting of research papers. This section will focus on the MLA, or Modern Language Association of America, writing style versus the APA, or American Psychological Association writing style. Those are the two main ones, and dependent upon what kind of paper you are writing will dictate which style that you choose. The key differences, and you will do an assignment related to identifying some of the key differences, is generally citation style, bibliography versus works cited, and some basic formatting. So let's dive into some of the key things that you will see. If we go up on the ribbon, follow my mouse, we're going to hit the Home tab here, and line spacing is critical when writing a research paper. So if we go hit this button up here with the up and down arrow, both line and paragraph spacing, the default in Word is 1.15. Some of your research papers, it will be requested to write them in a 2.0 line spacing, which stretches and opens up your paper just a little bit. In addition, paragraph spacing, if we go to layout up here, the default paragraph spacing, so every time that you hit the enter button, it puts an 8-point space in there. You may change that if you like to say 10 if recommended to, or you can shrink it down if need be. In addition, we're going to work on inserting headers and footers in this section. So if we go to the Insert tab up there, and in the Header and Footer gallery, let's suppose that we're going to insert a header of some kind, and we'll just leave a blank one here for now. And so it's going to put a header up here for you, and it gives you the opportunity to type. So let's say I'm writing this paper, and I want Heinzman to occur in the header of each particular paper, right up in the top up here. And once I put that in, then I can close that header and footer so that that will appear then on every page, or I can format it in many different ways in order to make it appear a certain way. In addition, you can go put footers on a paper, just like so, and you'll practice this as well. And for example here, I've just put in a page number at the bottom, and so to get out of that again, you'll go up in the contextual tab that shows up now for designing headers and footers, and just close that out and you'll get back into your paper. You'll notice I put in some just basic language here in order for us to start out and look at a few different things. In addition, I want to call your attention to the ruler here at the top of the screen. It's oftentimes good practice to have this ruler enabled when writing a research paper in order to track any indents that you may have or have proper spacing, because occasionally that gets really important when writing a research paper. In addition, just like we mentioned in Word Section 1, oftentimes Word, as it's spell checking going through, is going to automatically correct misspelled words. But it does not know always how to correct a word properly if you do not go back and proofread your paper. So I've written 3 sentences here. I'm going to the store, I'm going to the store, TWO, and I'm going to the store. Obviously the third sentence is the grammatically correct one, and Word has caught it here with the grammar checker to notice that, hey, both of those sentences are incorrectly spelled or incorrect grammar, and so it will flag that. But it is incredibly important that you check those things, because Word doesn't always catch them. If you have a different word and different syntax, it may not necessarily catch the proper terminology there. So you need to make sure that you're always proofreading your papers and your emails and so on and so forth, so that you come across sounding as professional as you can. You can also come in here and insert a page break if you get to the end of a page, and instead of putting in a whole bunch of enter keystrokes, you can just put page break and it will drop you down to the next page. As you see, it'll drop that in just there like that. If you want to delete it, you just click there and backspace, and that'll get rid of that page break that we just inserted. Then the final thing that we'll put in and highlight here is a reminder that Word has a number of different tools for you. And so if we want to use and find out a different adjective here for great, we can just highlight that word, right click, hit synonyms, and it'll give us the most commonly used synonyms for that particular adjective that I have here. Great. So let's say it's an unlimited machine, and we can just check that, and obviously now we've created a grammar problem. We can also use the thesaurus to find different words. And if you click synonyms and go down here to the bottom, it will bring up the thesaurus that gives you other similar type words for you to use in order for you to vary your writing a little bit. Lastly, but certainly not least, that this section focuses on, and that is utilizing the references tool. If you learn and teach yourself how to utilize these tools that are in the references tab and in the gallery underneath it, it will greatly enhance your ability to write effective and properly formatted papers. For example, when you go in and click Manage Sources, you can essentially, after you've done all of your research for the paper that you are beginning to write, you can insert all of your sources and where they come from into this Manage Sources tool. And then as you go to Insert Source, Insert a Citation, all of those sources are then already basically in a menu for you to pull from, and makes it much easier to properly insert a source citation. It will properly format it already for you. And then as you get to the end of your paper, all you do is come over here to this bibliography page, and it will properly insert and build your bibliography, your references, or works cited page, depending on the style of writing that you're using. All at the bottom of your paper already formatted, so that you don't have to worry about having the correct amount of spaces, the name listed appropriately, or however it may be. So teach yourself, especially here as you use the college courses at KC and you get into different writing courses and writing assignments, utilize this References tab. It's an excellent tool. It works very, very nicely. You can also come over here and add the table of contents if you need to use that, insert footnotes. It is an excellent, excellent tool and works quite nicely. As we go through this section, the list of assignments is going to have you basically doing some really very simple editing to a couple different papers. You'll have to build one a little bit from what it recommends in the book, and then of course do that MLA versus APA paper. It may be listed as a simple group project on Blackboard, but obviously you will be doing that on your own and then submitting that. And I don't really care what format that you turn that in on. You can do simple bullet points, side-by-side comparison. You could do a table, whichever works best for you to compare an MLA style and an APA style paper. I'm going to sign off from here. If you have any questions, please post them in the discussion tab that's going to be located there in Word Section 2, and that'll wrap up the key points for Word Section 2.